everybody. We are back. It's been like two and a half months or something since we last streamed. It just seemed like things keep coming up, and we probably won't always stream on Tuesdays, but today happens to be a Tuesday, and we managed to find some time to sit down. So today we have just a few weeks left before spring rotation 2024. And one of Katie's decks, the main deck that Katie has played when she's gotten the chance to, is Rapid Strike, and that will be rotating away. So we're going to remind ourselves how we play around with Rapid Strike. This is Rapid Strike, Sylveon, Urshifu, and Blaziken, which will be a problem because I'll be playing Toad Scroll, which is a grass type. But then we wanted to give Katie a chance to get familiar with a couple of decks that she could play post-rotation. One being Nidoking and Nidoqueen from 151. A pure single prize deck that takes advantage of Nidoking's ability to attack without energy costs. And actually I haven't even taken the opportunity to throw in any of the TMs in there, but the technical machines, when its ability is active, it can use those technical machine attacks for free as well. Because the wording on it is any attacks this Pokemon uses have no cost. So yeah. Cool. And then Hisui and Zoroark. Fairly straightforward, maybe with a few tweaks, and there's plenty of opportunity. Obviously, post-rotation, when Temporal Forces comes out, we'll have access to a few more cards. Some Ace Specs, which probably won't go in Katie's deck, because we'll have like 2 of them, and they'll have to go in all of the decks.
Yeah, right.
And then Buddy Poffin will be the main, one of the main setup cards, especially for the single prize decks that will be around post-rotation. Although Buddy Poffin is interesting, I think it will be fine with Nidoking and Nidoqueen, but it only looks for 2 basics with 70 HP or less. So that's an important distinction.
But it would be a good setup card.
Right. It essentially is going to replace VIP Pass for those decks that already are searching out basics with 70 HP or less.
Right.
Because VIP Pass is rotating.
Right.
So I have VIP in my deck, but I don't think any of yours do. And I think all of your VMAXs are rotating, although funnily enough, you have 1 copy of Radiant Eternatus in there, and Radiant Eternatus is not rotating.
Well,
okay.
Fun.
So,
Fun.
Ready to take a shot at it?
Yeah.
Alright, so I did everything except get, well, we have these. We have coin flips.
Oh boy.
Heads or tails, baby?
Heads.
It is tails. I will choose to go first, and we're not going to have time to flip all of those back over again. What was I going to say? Oh, perhaps we just talked about possibly during spring break having time where we are not together and you have the boys.
Yes.
For a little bit. So I was thinking going into that, maybe, if we get the chance, we could record ourselves playing through the My First Battle or something, and maybe playing another retro battle, like for real, and maybe, if I'm not too behind on work stuff, maybe during that period, I could actually edit a video and put out an edited video for the first time in forever. For those of you who don't know, I essentially gave up video editing to work my dream job, because my dream job is every weekday, off nearly every weekend, but that meant I didn't have time anymore where I was home alone. Now, Katie and the boys are usually home, or at any time that I would be home. So
it just makes it hard because you can't sit and focus on getting the video done.
Yeah, and video editing takes a long time, especially if you're not that great at it, like I am. So, all right, ready? I'm going to go first.
Yes. Here, I'll move these here.
we can work with that.
Okay, this could be interesting.
Just don't put down Radiant Eternatus to start.
Yes, got that. Got that one. Thank you.
Yes, I do have basic.
Okay.
Alright, ready?
Yep.
Okay, so this would have been a good one potentially to put in the active spot because it has free retreat.
Because it has free retreat. Okay.
But other than that, the tricky thing about Starmie V in this deck is it's not a Rapid Strike Pokemon.
Right.
So you can't search for it, you can't attach Rapid Strike energy to it.
Right.
But you can manually attach and Melanie to it.
Right.
Yes, Kyle. Thank you for joining us.
Hi!
It has been a long time. Sorry. But yes, video editing is painful.
Quite.
So, here we go. Let's see if I can get slightly less glare on Toad School there, which is very hard to say. Alright, so I'm going to go first.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Not really what I needed turn 1, but these are nice.
Wow.
Oh, good. Alright, so I need... This deck is hard for multiple reasons. One, the way I have it currently built, and probably the only way to build it, is that it needs a lot of different pieces to work. Oh my god. And so it needs several different evolution lines, and in order for Toad Scrool to maximize its damage output, it requires you to have a full bench and have energy attached to all of them.
Oh, okay.
Which is not easy to do.
Right.
Under most circumstances. I suppose if you were playing some weird Arceus Toad Scroll, that might be easier, actually. I've actually thought about putting Arceus, Alolan Vulpix together with a tech of a 1/1 Toad Scroll EX line, because Alolan Vulpix's attack prevents it from being damaged by Pokemon with abilities, Pokemon with abilities. But right now, you have to worry about, like, Roaring Moon just coming up and Frenzy gouging it, while Toad Scroll EX's ability prevents effects of attacks against any of your Pokemon that have energy attached. Obviously, Arceus is good at spreading energy around, and you wouldn't even be worried about using the Toad Scroll to attack. So, I don't know if that's actually a good idea or not, but we'll see. Okay, so... Okay, there we go. Attach and pass.
Okay. Alright. Woof.
I'm sorry, I should have shuffled during your turn.
It's okay. And you were also talking. So, like, we were just sitting here in silence and we were shuffling.
Also, generally speaking, it's not advantageous to set up extra Pokemon on your bench during turn 1. Because if you really wanted Sylveon here in the active spot, potentially I could escape rope you or something turn 1. There's no way for me to disrupt your hand on turn 1. And other than Iron Valiant, there's no way for me to knock out your starting active on turn 1 going first.
Right.
So you should always just leave one Pokemon down.
Okay, but... Okay. But what if you had Iron Valiant?
I mean, that's extremely unlikely. But just as a general rule.
Okay.
And the reason I'm thinking that is because if you manage to get Radiant Eternatus this turn, you now have one less bench space to work with.
Okay.
Because that's Radiant Eternatus is one turn, and then it takes up the last 2 with
Mm-hmm.
with the 2 B maxes that it can pull.
Right.
So
Right. Okay. Okay. I have not played in my alright.
I mean, usually turn 1, especially turn 1 going second, you either want Brawly or you want Radiant Eternatus to get set up.
Okay. Alright, well, I don't have that.
You only have 1 copy of Brawly.
Oh, that's right.
Being forced to start extra Pokemon back. Wait, so what? Enlighten me, Kyle. What was the thing back then? That was the equivalent of. I guess, was there ever anything that was the equivalent of Iron Valiant? Iron Valiant, getting turn 1 going first donks is super fun. Well, I guess, could you attack first going back then? So we are used to, we play a lot of retro where you can attack turn 1 going first.
On your first turn.
But that is not the case.
Right,
here.
obviously it's not the case here, but yeah, I don't remember when that rule changed.
Okay, yes. So turn 1 hand disruption.
Okay.
Turn 1 going first hand disruption. So I guess that's been fairly recent as far as turn 1 supporters.
The supporter restrictions. Okay. Would I want to attach to Sylveon?
Sylveon's not really intended to be an attacker in this matchup, in this deck in general.
Right.
It can be. I don't know what else you have in your hand. It's fine if you want to show me, because we're just...
okay, I don't want to use... I can't use
Melanie,
so
okay.
I'm not even looking at it.
Okay, so you can force Sealstone for anything.
Right.
And... So, tricky thing is, Dream, Gift, ends your turn.
And it's
attacking,
only an item.
Right, attacking ends your turn.
Right.
And Radiant Eternatus ends your turn.
Right.
But, frankly, you have 2 great big honkin' fire Pokemon in your deck.
Like to get out.
That you can easily get with either the Ultra Ball or
just attaching
Forest Sealstone and using it.
Okay. So I should just attach there. That-ish.
I mean, I always put tools sideways, but
it's easier to see. There's a lot of text on that.
Yeah. You definitely don't want to Ultra Ball away the energy, and I don't think it makes sense to, like, you could Ultra Ball Melanie, but it makes sense to keep Karina as focus.
Right.
So yeah, I would probably Forest Sealstone for the Radiant Eternatus, and then ideally make sure you have 2. Ideally, you have both Blaziken and VMAX in there. If you don't, then it's Blaziken and Urshifu.
Right.
Yes, if you're starting Magikarp, who always has 30 HP, then you're in trouble. Kyle's pointing out that even in retro, you're still not terribly likely to get donked turn 1 going first.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I am playing Radiant Eternatus. And then I want to wait to attach my Rapid Strike energy to...
Once you play Radiant Eternatus, it ends your turn.
I know, but like I don't want to attach that right now. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, you would wait.
Alright.
Well, so technically you already put him on your bench.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as you do that, it ends your turn.
When he comes into play. When you play this... Okay, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's when his ability activates.
I was thinking it was like Dream Gift.
No. That's why you don't ever want to start him as your starting active, because then you can't use its ability at all.
Got it. Okay. Cool.
And then that ends your turn. So
Right.
now you can't attach,
Right,
unfortunately.
right. I knew that I wouldn't be able to attach once I put them down.
Yeah.
That.
And then attaching here doesn't really make sense because you wouldn't be able to attack. You know, as we said, you can't attack and use Dream Gift and use Radiant Eternus all in the same turn.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So that ends your turn.
Yes.
I'm gonna draw. Interesting choice here. I'm going to manually attach to Toadstool and then Iono.
Okay.
So our hands get
No, the hand gets shuffled and
goes
put on
to
the bottom. Woof.
And then you draw as many prize
Prizes
cards
as
as
you
you have left. Draw equal to the number of remaining prizes. Is a better way to word that. Alright, now we're cooking. Hisuian Lilligant V-Star. Ultra Ball. Is that the right move? I think that's what I'm going to end up doing anyway. Ultra Ball for B-Barrel. This is where it gets really tricky. Like, you need this line and this line and the... Okay, technically you don't need Hisuian Lilligant if everything goes perfectly for you, but you're about to see why Hisuian Lilligant is so good in this deck. I played around with either using Hisuian Lilligant plus Cherubi, and the problem is Cherim rotates, which is why I have to play this deck in the next 5 weeks or so. You either have to use Hisuian Lilligant plus Cherim, or you have to use, like, Fortress EX, which blows itself up. Okay, I already manually attached. Oh. I already manually attached. I'm an idiot. I shouldn't have done that. That's okay. Industrious Incisors for 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Cherim. Okay. This math is so hard to do in person. So let's see. 80. Oh, here. Okay, so V-Star Power Star Perfume. During your turn, you may search your deck for up to 5 in any combination of grass Pokemon and grass energy cards, reveal them, and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. So, Cherim would have been a piece that I needed, but I'm going to get it. I'm getting it off of... I already got it off of Industrious Incisors. So I'm pulling Toadstool, and then 1, 2, 3. I need another one there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have to, if I draw another Pokemon, I don't, I have energy in hand. Okay. So I have energy in hand. That's right. Okay, so what do we got here? Got him. Sorry. I love you, honey.
I love you too.
I've got them. Okay, we'll go ahead and do Tropius. Oh, sorry, that's up here. So those are my 5. Okay?
And that was Lilligant V-Star's
V-Star Power,
okay.
which is an ability. And it does not end my turn. Which is very important.
Very important, yes.
And the cool thing about this with Cherim is now I can, like, ideally you get the pieces that you need, and then you use Hisuian Lilligant, ideally to get only one Pokemon, and then load up your hand with energy.
Yeah.
And now I use, okay, so Tropius to the bench. Now I use Spring Bloom. As often as you like during your turn, you may attach a grass energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon that doesn't have a rule box. So it just has to be a non-rule box. So I already used my manual attachment.
Right.
Ideally, I would have used that here, but I wasn't sure that I was going to get the Hisuian Lilligant.
Right.
So, Spring Bloom, 1, 2, 3, 4. I will go ahead and put a second one here. And then evolve to Toedscruel, because if you do that first, then you can't accelerate to it with Spring Bloom.
Right.
Okay. And Spring Blooms as often as you like. I already flipped my V-Star marker. Okay, so here's the cool thing about, well, here's the tricky thing about Toedscruel. One, what's cool is if everything gets set up like I just did, then you can pull off a big attack like this on turn 2. Unfortunately, other decks can do big attacks turn 2 with a lot less pieces.
Right.
Colony Rush. 80 plus 40 more damage for each of your benched Pokemon that have grass energy attached. And that's why the Cherim is so helpful, because you can spread it around.
Right.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times 4 is 160, plus 80 is 240. So Sylveon is knocked out.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, this is just going super grand over here now. Okay. Okay. Play that to the bench.
Okay. So what you really want a way to get to Octillery.
Right.
So that then you can start Rapid Strike searching each turn. But really all you need is a Rapid Strike energy to start attacking.
Yep.
Although you don't have any energy in your discard pile, which is part of what makes Max Blaze so powerful.
Right.
What do you have?
That was a good Iono undercard.
Well, you can always research.
Yeah, I can research. It just seems like a lot to throw away.
Well,
but
you gotta do what you gotta do.
I struggle with that, as we all know, so... Okay.
And now you have an energy in your discard
And now I have
pile.
an energy in my discard. 5, 6, 7. Okay. Alright. That feels a little better. Okay. So...
I can still see your...
Oh.
How did we fix this the one time? Oh, we put it... I think we did this.
Yeah, we made it smaller.
So that I could only see the top. So I could
To
still
make
check
sure that
if
it
the
was
camera was
moving,
frozen.
Yeah.
Because that never happens.
Sorry. Okay. So I want to attach Rapid Strike. And I want to...
Excuse me.
Should I go ahead and... I should do that. I should Ultra Ball for Octillery.
Correct. You should.
Hopefully one of them is in here.
And that gives you two more energy in your discard
discard
pile that you can accelerate with Max Blaze.
Right. Right. Okay. So I want to retreat for free.
Yep. Because I don't think Blaziken was actually good. Was ever actually good. But
Right.
one of the cool things about it is it can attack with 2 of any energy.
Right.
So you can water.
Right.
Now, Max Blaze, I think, specifies 2 different Rapid Strike Pokemon, right?
Choose up to 2 of your benched Rapid Strike Pokemon and attach an energy card from your discard pile to each of them. Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's all I want to do right now. Or all I can
So my point is, you don't need Rapid Strike energy to power Blaziken.
Right, I don't have to have that.
Although you do need Rapid Strike energy to power Urshifu VMAX.
Yeah.
Top 8 at a Japanese expanded tournament with Max Potion. Ooh, nice.
That's fun. Alright. So,
and that makes sense, because Max Potion would be heal all damage, discard all energy.
Right. Alright. So then I'm going to do Max Blaze.
Okay, for 260. Fortunately, my Toad School EX just barely survives, even with weakness. Math. 250, 60. There we go. Oh, you didn't actually Rapid Strike Search.
No, I didn't. I did all that to get him, but I did not do that.
Well, that's fine. Go ahead and... What would you Rapid Strike Search for? I think you just put the Urshifu down this turn.
Yeah, I did.
Probably the thing that makes the most sense is Rapid Strike Energy.
Probably, so that I would have the option to do...
fudge. I'm in trouble. I mean, I was in trouble anyway, but yeah. Okay, cool. Alright, Max Blaze.
Yes.
Got you. And then you're attaching. Aw, man. Why do you do this to me? Why do you always do this to me? Okay. Well, that was a bad top deck. What do I do? I am going to Super Rob this energy back. You did play a supporter that turn. You had to research everything. But that's okay. And you may very well run into a grass deck. It'll probably have a ton of HP, so that'll still be a problem. But you could very well run into a grass deck because people are playing grass to counter Moon and Charizard. Okay, now... Feels bad. Professor's Research, my superior energy retrieval. Yeah, I don't want to give that up, but... I also don't feel like I can go a whole nother... I don't feel like I can skip a turn as far as attaching. Maybe I should have waited until you knocked out Toad Scroll. I guess I could have, like, retreated stuff first. I'm in big trouble if you can Urshifu VMAX next turn. Okay, so we're gonna Skater's Park. I'm gonna use it to retreat and put these energy back into my hand.
That's only basic energy, right?
Basic energy, yeah. Put that Toad School out, and I'm gonna Spring Bloom to accelerate there, and manually attach here, and then evolve to Toad School EX. Which is like the whole reason I have this card in here, but I so rarely get to use it. But okay. I cannot do Industrious Incisors, so I will Colony Rush for another 240.
There we go. Okay. All right. So, all right. I can do it.
Okay. What's the last piece you need? Oh, you already had it. You didn't even have to rapid strike search for it.
Did have it.
Ah, fudge. Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Do the thing you were going to do. And I have Manaphy in this deck. I just honestly didn't even.
No.
I don't. Maybe it's in my prizes, or I just completely overlooked it and was like, I don't need Manaphy in this matchup. What do I need Manaphy for? We don't need no stinking Manaphy. Okay, so.
Okay. I should rapid strike search first.
You should.
Okay.
I don't know what the rest of your hand is, but probably either for Karina's focus to use this turn. I don't. It looks like you only have a few cards in your hand.
Two.
Okay. Because you don't really want to have to attach a rapid strike energy to Blaziken VMAX.
Right.
You can't search out Cheryl because it is not a rapid strike card. But I think there is a copy of Cheryl in there.
There was one. I don't honestly. I don't know what those cards are there. Yeah. I'll go ahead. Let's focus.
You like those sapphire sleeves?
I do. They're pretty. Alright. So I'm going to play Karina's focus. Draw until you have 6 cards in your hand. So I draw 4. 2. 4. That's something. Okay. Awesome. Cool beans there. Okay. Yeah, there's nothing else I really want to do this turn.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to G-Max Rapid Flow. Discard all energy from this Pokemon. This attack does 120 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. So 120 here. And 120 here.
Cherrim is a tempting target. I honestly think Bibarel is probably more harmful.
I was kind of split between them.
I don't think either one is wrong,
Mm-hmm.
but I would probably choose to take out Bibarel.
Okay, just because of the raw draw power?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it gives you that ability to play a supporter and draw more cards on the same turn.
Cards. Okay. That makes sense. Okay, so these two.
Alright, so that is
There's
3 stinking prizes for you. So that made my retreating pointless.
Right.
I mean, it wouldn't have changed anything, but okay, so I obviously already have Toadstool EX in the active, so I will draw for turn. Oh, hey, look.
Oh, hi, Boo.
I will play Nest Ball. Not sure what I have left, but I will play Nest Ball. Okay, for Toadstool. I will. This almost certainly doesn't matter, but I will play Artisan to bump your Tower of Waters, and then I will play Manaphy to the bench. And actually, it would have been better for me not to retreat that last turn, because then I would do boss, Blaziken VMAX, and I could have taken it out with Tropius and left Tropius in the active, but I am definitely not retreating because I have like only one way to get energy back now. Because I had to use Super Rod for one energy and I had to discard, I didn't have to, but I chose to discard my superior energy retrieval. I guess the only advantage is that is 3 prizes and I'm now down to 1.
Right.
So.
Right. Well, that's chaos there. Okay.
Which actually is problematic. Do I even have that left? I only play one boss, one counter catcher because there's just, you need to set up. Setting up is the most important thing.
Right.
And once you go down to 1 prize card, you can never use counter catcher.
Right. Right.
So.
Okay. Alright. Hold up for a second here. Okay. Yeah, it's flickering.
It is like flickering?
Yeah.
It's annoying.
It's
Okay.
annoying. Okay.
Just wanted to make sure I wasn't crazy.
Yeah, no. Totally. Oh, you. Okay. I have a couple of options.
Okay.
I should have a couple of options.
You should.
I should.
You should. And you have rapid
and
strike.
And I have rapid strike search, yeah. Okay.
I can tell you what you should not do is leave Starmie V in the active.
Yes.
I know you're not going
no,
to.
I got that. I'm there. I'm with you there on that one. Okay.
One of the biggest things about playing B-Barrel is you can Iono yourself down to 1 and your opponent down to 3, and then you just draw up to 5. And that's one of the biggest things that's good about it. It's defensive and offensive in terms of hand disruption.
Right.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's fine. Can you... I want you to read Manaphy's ability, please.
Prevent all damage done to your benched Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I
have definitely bossed Manaphy and taken them out with Blaziken VMAX. Because sometimes... Well, and then you energy accelerate to your Urshifu, and you're like, well, can you get it back and set it back up next turn? Of course, the sexy thing for the decks that can pull it off is to somehow gust up Manaphy and use a card called Canceling Cologne that shuts off its ability, and then they attack your bench anyway.
Right. Okay. Okay. I'm going to retreat.
Okay.
And I am going to...
I've never had... Okay, so we have Inteleon VMAX, but we've never had the Rapid Strike Inteleon VMAX. So I've never played Rapid Strike with Inteleon VMAX. This is the only Rapid Strike deck we've ever built. I know you sent me some versions where when Sylveon was at its strongest. Okay.
I didn't really want to do this quite yet. That's like... that's okay.
What are you doing, honey?
I would like to use Serena to boss up your Lilligant V-Star.
Fudge. Lilligant, why you only have 260 HP?
What I didn't want to do was attach the Rapid Strike energy, but I couldn't do both.
I think there's only 4 basic water in the deck.
Yeah, I have... Like, I know I have basic water here, but I can't play Melanie and Street on the same turn, so...
Correct.
I'd rather just bite the bullet on that one.
And honestly, if you're gonna really play this to locals, we might find a counter catcher and throw it in there. Yeah. Which that's one we should have looked for at... There probably weren't any at the store, but...
Yeah.
We should have looked.
Yeah, we should.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, this is great.
Max Blaze. 2.
Alright, draw for turn. Toad School to the bench. Spring Bloom to attach. Ultra Ball. For Toad Scroll EX and evolve it. And then I'm going to play Research as soon as I'm done shuffling. Because again, I don't get to use Intelliant or Vivero now.
You also don't get to use Intelliant.
I also do not get to use Intelliant. That is correct. Oh, Kyle, you know, and I have some shiny cards I need to send you pictures of to see if there's anything you want. What am I doing? 7. Yes, for research. I discarded the Iono and I was thinking, like, that I had played it, which I would have done if I still had Bibarel. Okay.
Sorry, not sorry.
Manual attach. Alright. Colony Rush for 1, 2, 3 times 4 is 120, so 200. Colony Rush for 200.
Sounds like Jeopardy. Sorry.
It does. It does sound like a Jeopardy.
Okay. Okay. Well.
Is right. Oh. Why didn't you just say I have the box?
Well, because I saw it, but then it wasn't registering exactly what it was. It's like, oh wait,
Good job, baby.
Can win.
Nice.
Cheryl was my last prize.
Cheryl was your last prize card.
See, that's why I couldn't remember if it was.
Well, and it's just.
We played around with how to build this one a couple different ways.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and if you. Yeah, it's fine. I don't think I've robbed it of anything recently. It doesn't really need VIP pass, which is one of the big cards. But yeah, I think we're good on Enhanced Hammer now. Although I got to dig back through my boxes.
Yeah.
There are definitely... I need them to bloody reprint Scramble Switch, because it's one of the few ace specs I actually have.
Yes.
We'll see if we manage to pull any from Temporal Forces.
Ours is super beat up.
But Counter Catcher is definitely a card that I feel like, you should have at least one of in most decks, and I don't have that many copies. Or I need to dig through and see if I can find more copies somewhere. I'm almost to the point where I feel like we should put trainers just like in a big thing in alphabetical order, so that when they reprint them, I can be like, okay, let's see if we have any of these. All right, so I'm gonna play the same deck. We need to go a little faster this time.
Sorry.
That's fine. I'm not gonna explain what my cards do.
Yeah.
So for the audience, because now they will know for the most part. But we were having fun. That was a good game.
It was.
It was funny playing around weakness, but also that weakness not quite being enough.
Right.
I need them to reprint. I need them not to reprint Computer Search or Dowsing Machine. Wait. If you need more, you don't want them to reprint it? Oh, because then people will buy them all?
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah,
and the price will go up.
Yeah.
The Master Ball price has already gone way up. It used to be considered like the worst ace spec, but then it happened to be in the winning list from a Japanese Lugia list from a tournament.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, the price went way up. At least I saw a screenshot of it. Sometimes TCG Player can be a little misleading, shall we say. Jumpy, yeah, when people play around with things. Okay. All right. Which one is that? Do you even know?
This should be the Nidoking.
Okay. All right. Cool. We will ignore weakness on your side.
Okay.
Yeah. Just for this, because you are. I think they are all weak against grass.
Okay.
All right. I love you. Heads or tails?
Heads.
It is tails.
I'm gonna start calling tails.
No. I don't trust people who call tails. That includes you, Kyle. All right, I'll go first. Never mind. No, just kidding.
7. Okay.
Something.
Okay, I'm really sorry. I need to get some more water.
Okay.
Don't get old, guys.
Don't get old.
No, actually, don't start a new workout routine.
Kyle says tails never fails.
Thank you, Kyle.
That's what everybody says right before they flip heads.
Okay.
Alright. Ready?
No. Yep.
Okay. I don't remember the exact counts, but you have something like a 3-2-3 line of Nidoking and maybe a 3-3-3 line of Nidoqueen. Okay. And then I think 2-2 Bibarel.
Okay.
In theory, Nidoking is your main attacker, although Nidoqueen is actually very good as an attacker against decks that only attack with basics.
Okay.
Primarily.
Okay.
Although her second attack isn't terrible. But her first attack, the big thing is, then she can't be damaged by basics. So that's really cool. Nidoking, you really never want to attach energy to, because ideally you're just getting a Nidoqueen into play, and then you can attack for free. Okay. So really you want, ideally you want a Bibarel, probably 3 Nidoqueen lines at various stages, and then 2 Nidoking lines. Okay. And you want to just be attacking and rotating through your Nidoking and extra Nidoqueen as attackers, just depending on the situation. And it looks like they are actually fighting weak, or at least that one is. Okay, I already drew my extra card, so I'm gonna VIP pass the double nest ball.
Okay. I was like, what is happening right now?
Everything is
You don't have to discard for VIP pass or nest bombs. I'm not
No,
sure.
I'm just playing all of them at once.
It's getting close to our bedtime, honey.
Okay. Now I'm trying to decide. I don't think there's any way for you to check out my Orlo Cherubi on turn. Oh. Okay, good. Alright, so we're gonna Toad School, Bidoof, Lilligant. Those are my 4. And unfortunately, then I'm gonna have to pass.
Okay.
Oops.
Okay. I should level ball.
Yep. You want to get lines set up. Ideally, that deck would have VIP pass in it, but it does not right now.
Okay. Good to know.
If you were gonna play it, sometime before rotation, I think I have some Binder non-decks at this exact moment. If you were gonna actually play it, we would put 4 in there.
Okay.
If not, after rotation, like I said, we would get Buddy Poffin.
Right.
Ideally, we're gonna need lots of Buddy Poffin. So many Buddy Poffins. We would Poffin those Poffins.
Oh boy.
Pop Poffins.
Okay. And like I said, it's getting close to our bedtime. I love you.
I love you. Oops.
Okay. Okay, so ideally I would...
Is Level Ball the only ball search in your deck? Or in your hand?
Yes.
Do you have Arvin?
No.
Do you have a supporter?
I have research.
Okay.
Yeah. So I want to pull either Nidoran or Bidoof.
I'd say Bidoof is the most important one to pull right now.
Alright.
Because there's less of them in the deck. So you're less likely to draw into them.
It next turn anyway.
No, this turn. You can research this turn.
Right, sorry.
Which you should do. There are 3 or 4 Super Rod in the deck, so I'm not sure what all else is in your hand. But like the deck expects to have Pokemon knocked out.
Okay,
and
the deck
recycle them.
Okay. Now I have a reversal energy in my hand.
Okay.
Is that going to be a problem?
No. Is that the only energy in your hand?
Yes.
Do you have a TM evolution in your hand?
No.
Okay.
I mean... it's the first turn in play.
Yeah, you can't evolve, but you could use it to use TM evolution.
Say that again.
You can use reversal energy to use the attack TM evolution.
Okay.
So probably it's best to attach the reversal to Nidoran female, giving you single colorless energy.
Right.
In theory, you could also retreat with it, depending on what you draw off of the research. Mm-hmm. Is anything else in your hand playable? I don't know what you have. No?
No, just I have 2 research.
Okay, so you research.
Okay. Alright.
Reno, Rare Candy, Beetle Queen, yeah. taking it you did not pull TM Evolution.
Did not, no.
Okay.
I pulled History and Heavy Ball.
Okay, that's
So I could
always good.
play that.
Yeah.
Because that is a basic.
It lets you look at your prizes,
Yeah.
and if there's a basic there, you can reveal it and essentially exchange it for History and Heavy Ball.
Okay, so I can do that.
Yep.
Put that in.
Yep. And then I was just
That's
put him on the bench.
Okay. What else? What else was I supposed to be trying to do this turn?
TM Evolution.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I mean, do you have any ball search? You want to get more basics now.
I have
Unless you have an Ultra Ball.
Let's say I have Ultra Ball.
Is that the only ball search?
That's the only ball search I have.
Do you already have a barrel in your hand?
No.
Then I would probably choose to sit on the Ultra Ball so you can definitely get a barrel next turn.
Okay.
That's going to be tough. Like, ideally, you want to fill your bench turn one. And researching and not being able to do that is just tough.
Rough.
Tough luck.
Oh, sorry. Did not mean to kick you.
I don't think retreating really helps you. Because I think there's more Nidoran female in the deck than there are Nidoran male. I mean, you were going to lose that reversal energy anyway. I guess the only thing you lost by attaching it here was you lost the opportunity to attach energy elsewhere. But you really don't want to attach energy to Nidoran male anyway.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
Alright, draw for turn. Oh, that sucks. I hate so much when I have Palpad and a supporter that I can't play on a turn that I'm going to research. This also really sucks because I don't want to get rid of Super Rod and Clara at the same time, but I can't set up my board, so I have to, and now I can't get Clara back because I just Palpaded it. Oh, what am I doing? You draw off the top. Search your deck for 7 cards in any combination and put them into your hand.
Oh my goodness.
Your turn ends.
Yeah. So
that would actually be...
That would be a crazy ace spec.
Interesting.
That would be crazy.
It would still probably be too powerful, but then everybody would play like 4 Iono, 4 Judge.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It would obviously have to end your turn.
Yeah, definitely.
Alright. Oh, need to shuffle that vigorously. Oh boy. Oh, holy cow! Okay, I shuffled, guys. I shuffled. Look at this hand. Look at what I just drew.
I don't believe you actually shuffled. This is ridiculous. Judge!
Oh, that actually sucks. The problem was I prized my other Cherubi.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't have anyway. Okay, so I'm gonna Star Perfume. I did shuffle. I played the whole game. I'm not gonna grab any Pokemon because I already got them all. All of them. Get him! He's all of them. Unfortunately, though, because my hand is only energy, and because I had to evolve to Cherim to be able to... Yeah, I couldn't... Well, okay. Okay, I guess I didn't have to evolve to Cherim first. I could have attached, retreated, then evolved to Cherim, and I would have saved myself an energy. But regardless, so attach, retreat. I'm using Spring Bloom, obviously.
Mhm.
Attach. Evolve. Spring Bloom. That is something, and I would not mind having a barrel right now. Okay, so then I will Colony Rush for knockout.
Okay. Okay. Would I
Yes.
want to do that?
Yes.
Okay. And then use that?
Especially because I'm already set up.
Right.
Like, I have taken to saying, like, you need to establish your board, whether it's with Iono or Artisan or something. Like, you need to establish your board. If you're unestablished, you need to establish rather than worrying about helping your opponent set up.
Right.
Because if you're not set up, you're not going to win.
You're not going to play anyway. Yeah. Okay. So then I want to start another Nidoran female line, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You want all the lines.
Right.
As many lines as you can get.
Okay. Obviously, I can only use that once. So. Like this. Once per turn.
Correct.
Alright. Okay, so then I have...
Okay. It might be because it's split.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's just going bad, which would make me sad. Oops. That seems
much better. Whew. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was because it was in the split.
The double one, which doesn't...
Double cube.
Doesn't do as good a job. Okay. Alright. I think I'm going back in eventually. Okay. So I have... Let's see. I have a basic energy.
Okay.
That I could attach here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you never want to attach energy to Nidoran Mail.
Right. Okay. I have... okay. So I have... I'm sorry. I could play both of those this turn.
Okay.
Not together. But the thing I'm struggling with this is these are my 3 remaining.
Well, Nidoran Mail is getting knocked out.
Okay. Right. So
I wouldn't worry about that.
That? Or keep
I would discard those
discard
two.
Those. That stays in my hand.
Keep her.
Okay. Okay. With this, I'm looking for the barrel.
Correct.
Okay. The barrel.
Yep. What do you have in here?
Alright, so then I would want to
No.
not play that this
You're going to shuffle and you're going to Industrious Incisors first.
Okay.
Because if you get a better supporter, you're going to use it. Otherwise, you're going to use Miriam.
Okay.
Especially since there are 4 Pokemon in your discard pile that you want to shuffle back, and Miriam lets you shuffle back up to 5.
Okay. Okay. Alright. I can Industrious Incisors for 3.
3.
2, 3. Okay. I
just put her down
just
this
put
turn.
her down. Okay. Alright, so then I want to go ahead and
I don't know what you drew.
I drew Nidorina and Nidoqueen and Artisan.
Okay. Yes. So then you're gonna Miriam.
Miriam. Up to 5. And those are, you already went through.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure those are the only Pokemon there.
That felt like. Okay. So that's all I can do.
No. She lets you draw 3 cards.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Sorry. I can't do anything else with my hand as of this moment.
Right, and that's why it was silly to... I guess if you play the Super Rod first, you draw 1 more card off of Incisors, but then you Miriam 1 Pokemon back and draw 3, which doesn't feel like it's better than saving the Super Rod for a later turn when more things get knocked out and or discarded.
Right. Okay.
Good.
There's no point in evolving him.
Correct.
Because that's not helpful. Like, it's not going to be helpful.
Correct.
So, okay. Now I'm actually done.
Oops. Barrel. Tropius. Toadstool. Incisors for 2. Okay. Manual. Spring Bloom. Colony Rush for knockout.
Okay. So I want to Artisan.
Correct.
For Nidoran. Yeah. Preferably.
Yep. You've not seen TM Evolution yet, right?
Not in my hand. It's in my deck.
Yeah.
But it has not been in my hand yet. Okay. So I can evolve. Does it make sense to use? I feel like it doesn't make sense to use Rare Candy to evolve to Nidoqueen here.
Not unless you can attack.
Right.
Not unless you have reversal energy.
Right. I don't. So. Okay. Yeah, then I have Super Rod or Research.
So you Super Rod and then you Research. You have to. Because you don't have a setup.
Right. Don't think there's anything else.
Show me your hand again. You already used Artisan, so you obviously can't play another Artisan. It sucks to lose a Nidoqueen, but oh well. It really sucks to lose your 3rd Rare Candy, but...
Well, I guess I guess that's the question. Like, if I was going to research anyway, should I have just used rare candy here?
Yes, actually.
Okay.
You should have
I
just
should have just used that.
used rare candy there to get a Nido Queen into play.
Right.
Nido Queen is
Right.
more valuable than Nidorina, so do
Right.
that.
Okay.
And keep the Nidorina. I mean, you could evolve it, but it doesn't make a difference. It's going to get knocked out.
Right.
I guess you could evolve it just in case I don't knock it out. Maybe I boss KO your big barrel or something.
Okay.
It's 6 and 1, half dozen
right,
the other.
It doesn't. It's going to end up in the discard pile.
Most likely, yes.
More than likely.
But yes. So I didn't realize you had research.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, that's why you should. Right. That's when you should just go ahead and get the Nido Queen into play. Again, the deck is not dependent on rare candy, but it is nice to have. And I do think the Nidoran male line is 3-2-3. So to get all 3 of them into play at the same time, you would need rare candy.
Okay.
So that's where 4 of my Artisan are.
Okay. And I want to... Okay, so I just pulled Technical Machine Evolution. So would I want to go ahead and attach that here?
I don't know what you have in your hand.
Sorry.
Okay.
Darkness
and energy. Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
Probably, yes. And it was just confusing me why you were putting it up. But I guess you want to be able to read the text.
Yeah.
Because you can't see the name of the card. But anyway. Okay. Do you have any way to get another Nidoran male down?
No.
Industrious Incisors?
Yeah, well, okay, yeah, for one.
None of the other cards in your hand are playable? I know one of them's an Ultra Ball.
I have Super Rod. Which doesn't...
Is Nidorino the only one in there?
Yes.
Do you know if your other Nidorino is in the deck?
My other Nidorino?
Yeah.
I have a Nidorino in my hand.
Oh, well then you should just go ahead and evolve.
Didn't I just pull him this turn with Artisan?
Okay, but then you should still use Super Rod to put that Nidorino back because you can't evolve him. There's only 2 in the deck.
Okay.
So you won't be able to evolve him if there's not one in your deck to target.
Okay. Okay. Not back.
Yep.
Back.
What else? So you have a Nidorino that you can't play, we're pretty sure.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure I pulled him this turn.
Okay. You have an Artisan that you can't play.
Artisan and Nido King.
And you have a Nido King. Okay. All the more reason why you want to get Nidoran male evolved.
Right.
This turn. Okay, so now the worst thing that could happen would be you Incisors for 2 and you draw the other Nidorino, but let's see.
Keep putting my deck upside down.
Oh. Is it upside down?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Sorry. I actually just read in the rulebook. It's actually in the rulebook that the opening of your sleeves is supposed to be towards your opponent, so I'm trying to consciously think about setting my deck down that way.
Okay. I pulled Ultra Ball and Nido Queen. Off of Incisors.
Okay, so I wouldn't use either of those right now.
Okay.
In fact, you can't. I mean, you could use you can always use Ultra Ball, but you don't one. There's nothing.
Right.
You can't evolve anybody in play. You don't want to evolve this, and you can't
Right.
evolve either of them.
Right.
Except with TM
With
evolution.
TM evolution. Okay. So I use this.
Okay, so what it says is choose 2 of your bench Pokemon.
Mhm.
So you have to tell me which ones you're choosing.
Okay, so these 2.
Okay, and then you search your deck for a card that evolves from them and put them on top of it.
Okay.
The choosing part is important because, for instance, if you were like looking through the deck and you realized, oh, I have 2 Nidorina, but no Nidorino, and you have 3 Nidoran, 2 female and 1 male,
right.
You can't change your targets.
Right. It's the end of my turn.
Oh, it is the end of your turn. Yes. Draw for turn. And an Ultra Ball and fail. And the nice thing is, so this deck, especially Arven, so turn 1 going second, if you can Arven for, it will be Buddy Puffin, but right now it's VIP Pass and the TM Evolution, and go ahead and attack, like, you get your board set up, and then you go ahead and accelerate your evolving right away, ideally one of those being a B-Barrel, then you, like, really get a lot closer to being completely set up and ready to start attacking something. Incisors for 3. Iona.
Okay.
Probably should have just Iona first, but it's tricky sometimes to know when to use incisors, but in general, in general, the principle is you want to see the most cards possible on a turn. Okay, Colony Rush for knockout.
Okay. Nidoran male to bench. Okay. Going to evolve to Nidoking.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not. There's nothing else that I can really.
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
What do you know is not in where?
I can't use Level Ball to get Nidorino.
Well, you just put Nidoran male down.
Well,
but you could use it to get another Nidoran male.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. Oops. Okay. And then I awesome. Okay, so then I don't want to do anything else.
You want to research.
I do want to research?
Yeah. None of those other cards are useful.
Okay.
Arven is literally only for turn 1. Although, if I update this deck and put in more of the attacking TMs, then Arven will be more valuable later in the especially TM Crisis Punch, which is if your opponent has exactly one prize card remaining, this does 280 damage. It's like you can only use this attack if your opponent has one prize card left. 280 damage for 3 colorless, but Nidoking could use it for free.
Right.
So basically, you always need 2 of these.
Right.
And if you're advancing one to attack with it, you need to assume you're going to lose it, so then you need another one. Like, these are your energy acceleration via not actually requiring energy.
Okay.
So these are your Baxcaliburs for what it's worth. But Queen Press is also a very good attack. And with reversal energy, they can be useful attackers.
Yeah.
I say you never want to attach energy to Nidoking, but if you are in a position where you weren't going to be able to set up another Nidoqueen, you can attack with Nidoking with a reversal and 1 basic darkness.
Okay.
But obviously the ideal is attacking for free.
Right. Right. Okay. Okay, so do I put the reversal energy?
It's a Nidorino. Okay. I would put the reversal energy on Nidoqueen.
Okay.
I know, right? If there was the Nidorina has what is it? What does Fetch Family do?
Fetch Family. Search your deck for up to 3 Pokemon, reveal them, and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck.
Yeah, it really should have been search your deck for up to 3 Pokemon with Nidoran in its name and put them onto your bench. Or, like what he's saying, something that let you Mirage Step, like skip to stage 2.
Yeah, for sure. Oh,
But,
sorry. I keep kicking you. I'm not trying to kick you. I'm not. Let me win!
Alright.
I'm just kidding.
We gotta speed up.
Okay. Okay, so then I want to go ahead and attack with Venomous Impact for 190.
It does 160 because of my Rigid Band, and it does not poison me because of my ability Protected Mycelium, which prevents all effects of attacks used by you.
Okay.
So the poisoning part is the effect.
Right.
It still does the damage, but the poison part is an effect.
Right.
Alright. Now, this part is tricky, because I need to ideally do enough damage to knock out your Nidoking. So let's see here. I'm at 160 right now. Okay. Yeah, I'm at 160 right now. Okay, Spring Bloom to attach there. That's fine. Research, my 2 VIP pass that I drew last turn. Okay, and we will Spring Bloom. Actually, I will manually attach to Hisuian Relegant. Okay. Yeah. And Colony Rush for knockout. Oh, there you are, friend. I was looking for you on turn 1. Yeah, exactly. Because in that situation, you know it's very unlikely that you're going to be able to set up another Nidoking next turn. Especially down... You might only have 3 Rare Candy in that deck. We'll look at it in more detail sometime. But you have to attack with Nidoqueen, which is why attaching the reversal makes the most sense last turn.
Right. Okay.
Good.
Now, would I use Ultra Ball to go get my other Nidoqueen?
Yes. And don't you have another level ball?
I do.
Do you have the other Nidorino in the deck?
Oh, I don't think so. 1. Maybe?
Because we shuffled it back in.
Right.
And you had one in your hand.
Right. Okay, so it might be in there.
Okay, so level ball. You mean you're either going to level ball for Nidorino or another Nidoran female? Because you have to assume you're going to lose this.
I have 2 level ball.
Oh. Well, play 1. This will be a situation where you would play 1.
Play 1, see what I find.
See what you find, and then play the other.
So, play this.
But yes, you're definitely going to Ultra Ball.
Okay, we are. Okay.
those are completely separate actions.
Okay. Ultra Ball.
Yeah. So see what you have.
I don't have another Nidorino.
Okay.
I have a Nidorina and a Nidoking. Those are my only Pokemon left.
Then the others must be in the... Oh, because Nidorino's right there, goofball.
Well, I said I had one there.
I told you only have 2.
Oh, I definitely thought
That's
you
why I
said
said, do you have
3.
the other Nidorino? I guess
Okay.
that was a silly question on my part because I just knocked out Nidoking. Yeah, they're in here, and you're down 2 of your 3 Super Rod. And obviously, we already used Miriam way earlier.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Okay, so...
Yeah, I have a Super Rod in here. Yeah.
Is there only one Super Rod?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, in that case... How many cards do you have in your hand?
3.
3. And what's the third one? Level ball, what?
Switch.
Switch. Okay. Switch is not helpful at this exact moment. The tempting thing is, you could burn the Ultra Ball and then draw more cards off of Incisors. But then...
You mean burn the level ball.
That's what I meant. Burn the level ball, draw more cards off of Incisors. But... You hit the Super Rod, and then you shuffle them back, and then what do you do? I guess you've got Artisan.
Right,
So you can get
but that doesn't help me get...
It doesn't help you get to your evolution.
Yeah.
No. So it's up to you. You either burn the level ball knowing that you can't actually get... I guess you could pull... Well, you pull the Nidorina... Then you know you won't draw that, but that's one less card you're drawing off of Incisors.
Right. Yeah, look, I'll just do 2.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
I got Defiance Ban and Arven.
You don't need Defiance Ban this turn.
Nope.
You could Arven for the Super Rod. You have not played a supporter, right?
No. No, I have not. Okay.
So you Arven for Super Rod. If TM Evolution is in there, you grab it and attach it to just somebody to burn it out of the deck. To thin the deck. Because you can grab 1 item and 1 tool.
I don't think it's in here. No.
Okay, that's fine.
It's not.
So now, give me that. Because now you're going to Super Rod. And what do you really need? You need Nidoking.
Yes. You need a King.
And probably Nidorino. Because you have another Nidoking in here, right?
Yes.
And then probably Nidoran female.
Okay.
Which you can then immediately place to your bench with Artisan. And give me the other 2.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
And they are actually not grass weak, so that
Right.
will mess people up if you ever play this at locals.
Right. Okay, so then I want to attack with 1 gel.
Yep.
Or
130 is definitely enough. Yeah. Draw a turn. Nest ball. Fail. To school. To bench. I don't know. I should have just failed that. Incisors for 3. Wow, that is something right there. Okay. 2, 3. 3 times 4 is 120. Okay, yeah, so colony rush for knockdown.
There's nothing that I can do that's enough.
No, but and that's just, you had a bad turn 1. Like, ideally, you kind of expect to give up 1 or 2 prizes before, but then you want to come back and be swinging. You're probably, there's not really bench space for Hisuian Sneasler, Radiant Hisuian Sneasler, although that would add 30 damage to this. So basically, this attack does 200, right? As long as you can poison.
Right, as long as I can poison.
With Radiant Hisuian Sneasler, you're hitting 220. That's still not enough. Like, honestly, this deck, like, as cool as this deck is, it just doesn't do enough damage.
It's not competitive.
Well, no, it's not competitive because it's not fast on setup.
Oh,
but
yeah.
it just doesn't do enough damage for you to go 2-2-2 against most things.
Right.
Other decks like Cloth can get away with not doing enough damage because it's all basics. So it's attacking as early as turn 1.
It doesn't take the time.
Like, Guardy takes time, expects to give up a couple of prizes first, but then it can come back and swing for 330. Yeah. This one is in between that. It is fun. The TM attacks make it better, although also make it less consistent. So those are things we'll have to think about. All right.
There's Counter Catcher.
Yep.
And my other Nidoqueen.
So let's briefly, 15 minutes or less, just take a look, just one-sided, at Hisuian Zoroark. Yeah. So you can get a sense for what that deck is trying to do.
Yeah. Okay. That was not smooth at all. Oh.
If the viewers have come to expect grace from us, they have come to the wrong place.
They've come to the wrong place. Wait. I can't even get them all out into one. Good heavens. Alright.
Gravity is not Katie's friend. Okay.
Never
so
has
let me
been.
see this. Okay, it is already a little shuffled. I wasn't sure if I had shuffled it or not. Okay, so basically, Screamtail might be a stretch as an attacker, but it has potential utility here. The cool thing about it is it can attack the bench.
Okay.
But this is the card that you
Inspired, yes. I love this little card. Here, can you move the thing so
you can see how close you're holding it to the camera?
Yeah. And what my orientation is.
That's upside down.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry, guys. Remember that thing about Grace? Yeah, not here.
She's beauty and she's Grace.
Yes. We opened this card and I was like, oh my goodness, this is my new favorite card. He's just adorable. So, yes.
Okay, so your main attacker is Hisuian Zoroark V-Star. Okay? It says, Ticking Curse, 50 times. This attack does 50 damage for each of your Pokemon that has any damage counters on it.
Okay.
So, you have to get damage counters on all of your Pokemon.
Right.
So how do you do that? Well, 2 main ways. You've got 3 main ways, actually. Damage Pump.
Okay, so that allows you to move damage from one Pokemon to another.
Actually, it's move 2 damage counters from one of your Pokemon to your other Pokemon in any way you like.
Okay, isn't that what I said? What did I say?
Well, you can take 2 from one and then go 1, 2. instead of just going from one to another,
Right.
you can actually split them,
Okay.
which is important,
Yes.
obviously.
Yes.
So you've got Gapejaw Bog. There's 4 of those in the deck. So ideally, you're putting that down, and then as you're playing basics to the bench, you're putting damage on them. And then you don't even need to worry about damage pump.
Right.
Except as, a backup plan for later. You, because you fell in love with Doduo, and we're certainly not the first ones to come up with this, but Dodrio, and someday I'll get you the green chicken nugget.
He's so squishy.
Do not eat Doduo.
I'm not gonna eat Doduo. I'm gonna cuddle him and love him forever.
He doesn't even have any legs. What are you supposed to eat? Anyway.
We're not talking about eating. She didn't mean it.
Read Zooming Draw, please.
Once during your turn, you may put 1 damage counter on this Pokemon. If you do, draw a card.
Okay, so you can use Dodrio. There's a 3/3 line in here because you're probably trying to set up 2 of them, not all 3.
Okay.
Although, Ballistic Beak...
This attack does 30 more damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. Can
do up to 270 damage. If you get 90 damage on Dodrio, you can do 270 damage for 1 colorless energy with a single prizer, which is kind of ridiculous.
That's kind of impressive. Seeing as Nidoking here couldn't swing for that, so... Yeah.
You've got 2 copies of this Netherworld Gate Gengar, which you can discard, and from the discard pile, they can place themselves back onto the bench and put 3 damage counters on themselves. So that is mostly used to, again, augment Hisuian Zoroark's attack, Ticking Curse, but Screaming Circle is not terrible. Put 2 damage counters on your opponent's active Pokemon for each of your opponent's benched Pokemon. Okay. And then, have you read Roaring Scream yet?
This attack does 20 damage to 1 of your opponent's Pokemon for each damage counter on this Pokemon. Yeah. Okay.
So, he can do up to 160 damage to any of your opponent's Pokemon if you get 8 damage counters on him, which is very easy in Gardevoir, not so easy in this deck. Also, you need 2 energy, one of them being psychic. So that is the real hard part for this deck, even more so than the damage part. Yeah. I'm not totally sold on Radiant Alakazam as the Radiant, or if this deck even needs a Radiant. Basically, he's in here, don't get confused. He can't move damage counters between your Pokemon. He can move 2 damage counters between your opponent's Pokemon, but only from 1 to 1. So not like this.
Okay, so it has to be 2 from like Zoroark, and they have to go together. They are It is 20 damage.
You can move 1, but once you choose the recipient, you move 1 or 2, but you can't split it up. Okay. So he's here mostly because Hisuian Zoroark is usually hitting for 280 or some multiple of 50 minus 20, because usually you're attacking with double turbo energy attached. Okay. So you're either hitting for 280, or you're hitting for 230, or you're hitting for, what would that be, 180, something like that. So usually you're having, you need like slightly more damage, so you can use Radiant Alakazam to like move damage from somewhere else, and then finish them off with Hisuian Zoroark. Or if you're going to do more than enough damage, you can move the extra somewhere. But it gets tricky with bench space. So let me see if there's anything else in here that's real key as far as that goes. Right now I've just got a bunch of Judge in here. You would probably play Iono, really. But Hisuian Zoroark's ability, its V-Star power, is essentially an ability Professor's Research. Discard your hand, draw 7 cards. Okay. So that's really useful for setup turn 2. This is also a deck that would probably... This would be a deck that pre-rotation would have...